Hey guys, it's your girl Ashley Kirkwood with the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast, where we teach you how to start at the top of the speaking market instead of working your way up from the bottom. During this show, you will hear solo episodes from me, where I'll show you how I have landed and negotiated 5- and 6-figure speaking contracts and licensing deals. You'll also hear from our amazing guests who have grown enormous speaking businesses by utilizing sales and marketing principles that work. If you want to grow your speaking business, listen to this podcast, and then afterwards, head on over to ashleynicolekirkwood.shop and grab my book, Speak Your Way to Cash, How to Start at the Top of the Speaking Market instead of working your way up from the bottom. Ready to dive in? Let's go. Hey, y'all. What's up to the Speak Your Way to Cash family? It's Ashley Kirkwood back again with another podcast episode. But this time, guys, I am actually going to let you listen in to a live video that I recorded. Now, if you're listening to this live video on the podcast and you're like, I want to join your next live, I want to ask you questions, I want to be able to get feedback about my business, then you have to follow me on Instagram at The Ashley Nicole Show, and make sure you're following the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook page, all right? Make sure you're following the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook page because that's where I go live. I also sometimes go live in the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook group, but enough about that. Even though you may have missed it live, you're about to hear it again. So listen into this live episode and let me know what you think. You can always send me an email to ashley@speakyourwaytocash.com. Let's listen in. Hello, everyone. My name is Ashley Kirkwood. I'm the host of the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast. I'm so honored to be your host, and I'm excited about the topic that we have today. If you do not know, we are doing something really cool at Speak Your Way to Cash. And for the next 30 days, I'm going to go live each day and answer a question. And within reason, right? We got some days off and some work days, but we're going to be submitting a podcast episode to the show almost every day for the next 30 days. And what the content that we're going to be covering over that time, you all, is content that you all have submitted as questions. And we got a really good question in. I won't read the name of who sent it in case some anonymity is needed. But the question was this: how do I keep pitching when I feel like I keep having to stop due to my work schedule, due to my insecurities, due to my life, due to everything that's getting in the way? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Like, how do you push through when you feel like there are things in your life that are literally pushing back on you? And so if you've ever been there or you've ever felt that, we are going to dive deep on that topic right now. And I'm excited about it because I know that there are some of you who are going to get some really good tips out of this episode because, y'all, I got a busy schedule too. Believe it or not, I am over here working. So I want to address this. And I think that first off, the person who wrote this question in, thank you for being so honest and being so vulnerable. That's number one. Number two, the question started off saying that really I'm stopping due to my work schedule. But then the next thing that it said was it's probably due to some insecurities as well. The first thing that I will say, the first thing that I'll tell you about is this: I believe that you need belief systems that drive your actions. And if you've been following me for a little bit, you already know how I feel about belief systems and value systems, but I am really, how many reallys can I give you? I'm really big on having belief systems that drive your actions. And I also believe that you should reevaluate those belief systems to make sure that they're serving you they're serving you in that current season. Because I do think that seasons change, and you may be in a season right now where you have to work really hard. You may be in a season at a later time where that's not the season that you're in at all. Okay. So the first thing I want to cover is how to prioritize, because I don't believe there will ever be a time where you won't have competing demands on your time. And so the first thing you have to realize is, how am I going to prioritize what I want to do? If you are an entrepreneur, if you are a speaker, if you are someone that serves clients, you likely will want to make sure that you have a schedule that allows you to commit at least some time to sales until you can outsource that part of the business. So every single day, you're going to ask yourself and write this down. Who did I ask to do business with me today? What did I do to bring income into the business today? So I'm asking myself that question on the daily. It could be Facebook ads. It could be email marketing. It could be cold outreach. It could be cold calling. It could be pitching via LinkedIn. But what did I do? Because although there are competing priorities and demands, your business needs, the heartbeat of a business is revenue. And so your business needs you generating revenue for it. So you want to first figure out of all the things that are on my plate, one, why are they there? Why are they, did I put them there? Did somebody else put them there? Is this leftovers from somebody else's food? Like, why is this stuff on my plate? And then how do we prioritize what I need to do in order to grow my business, live a healthy and fulfilling life, and be the person I need to be to my family? Because I am also a mother of a 2-year-old who's super active and who's growing every day and who I love seeing and spending time with. So there are times, y'all, where I'm going outside with my daughter. I got one AirPod in one ear, but we outside drawing chalk on the chalkboard. Like it, because I need the time with her. And then there's other times where I miss the meeting. I have someone else go in my stead and I'm just going to the park, or I take off early, or we go on a family vacation and it's just all about us. But in any event, you are going to have to prioritize like what's on your plate and who put it there. If you put it there, great. Let's figure out how you're going to handle it in a way that you can keep your sanity and do what you need to do for your business. But if somebody else put it there, take it off. Like, and then also, is there something on your plate that you can take off and delegate to someone else's plate? Because I also find that we are too controlling to let go. I ain't gonna talk about y'all because maybe y'all ain't never been there. But I will say for me, there were times in my life where I was far too controlling and I couldn't let go. So I was doing a lot because I did not believe other people could do it better. And so I just kept, that belief system was keeping me shackled to stuff I didn't need to be shackled to. But then there's another option for you all to consider that I have considered in my life. Am I too busy because the people who are tasked to help me are not helping enough? And I need to switch up who I'm paying to help. Like, are you reevaluating your core team? Are you reevaluating the people that you are giving money to on a consistent basis to ensure that they're really, really, really helping you out? And then when thinking about your priorities, you need a framework for making decisions that makes it easy to say yes or say no to things. So I'll tell you mine. Does it glorify God? Does it help my family? Does it advance my career? Simple as that. So when I'm going through that checklist and I'm like, does it glorify God? This ain't really a church thing. This ain't really a God thing. Okay. Does it help my family? Is it about my daughter, my husband, my nuclear family, my extended family? Is it about like, I'm not saying take on all your family's problems. No, I believe in strong boundaries. But if it's about my family, if Christelle needs to go to the doctor, if my husband isn't doing well, if I need to, like, is it about my nuclear family? I got to consider that. And then does it help my career? Clearly. And I don't mean like, oh, this is an opportunity and maybe one day in the far off, near distant future, there'll be some payoff. Can I see a return on this investment in the next 90 to 120 days? And if so, can I afford the investment? And I don't mean monetarily, I mean in time. Can I afford the investment in time? So that's the framework by which I make decisions. And in different areas of your life at different times, that the priority of those questions may change. I know people don't say this, but let's be real. If you got a deadline tomorrow, that may be the thing you need to do, even if somebody crying. Okay. Can we just be honest about that? So figure out what is your value system, but make sure your beliefs are actually serving you. And then when it comes to pitching and landing large contracts, you can automate your prospecting. You don't have to do everything. Leverage technology and buy you some time. Now you're like, dang, Ashley, I didn't know I could buy time. How do I buy time? You buy time with talent. So you want to buy time with talent. You want to be hiring excellent people so that you are buying time with talent and doing what you need to do. Tomorrow, for those who bought their ticket to Speak Get Ready Cash Live, we're doing an entire party on prospecting and automating outreach. I told my assistant today, I'm like, is my makeup artist confirmed? Because I got a party tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It's a prospecting party. We're bringing in one of our sponsors who's going to teach us how to leverage technology to automate our outreach. I'm going to show you all how I automate my outreach. I'm bringing out my whiteboard to really show you guys how your process needs to look. And it's going to be off the chain. And we're going to talk about how to make it so that you wake up in the morning to clients in your inbox wanting to do business with you. Who wants that? Me? I like that. I like having that. My DMs are filled right now. I'm trying to hire a social seller. If you know someone good, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Slide in the girls' DMs. I need a social seller right now. We just hired one sales rep. I need a social seller, somebody to manage my social media DMs because I use the strategies that I teach and my DMs are flooded, literally flooded with people who want to do business with me. And I just got to make sure I can handle them well. So here's the thing. When you have technology that's assisting you, it makes it easier to get done what needs to be done, to create opportunities for yourself without you working laboriously towards those opportunities. And then you can buy time with talent who can manage that. Okay. We have a couple of people who help out. We are a growing company, so we're hiring a couple more people right now. You may have seen our job descriptions on LinkedIn. shameless plug, but we have a few positions open. I believe we have a project manager, an event planner. We have a copywriter position open, and we have a junior legal assistant position open for in-house counsel for Speak Your Way to Cash. So if you fit any of those buckets, please do check LinkedIn and apply. Our recruiter is amazing and she'll be reaching out. So you buy time with talent, right? And we're going to be talking about how to leverage technology so that you're automating some of that outreach, because you can do it. And it's a great way to make it so that you're only responding to people who are interested versus doing like cold calling to people who may or may not be interested in what you have to offer. But there does need to be a system around what you're doing. So you want to make sure that you have a system in place, but there are ways to automate your outreach efforts. Then you need to determine where you should be spending your time, what's reasonable for you. And then when you determine where you're going to spend your time, you want to be okay with spending your time there. And let me be really, really honest with y'all, because this gets really tough when you're a mom, when you're a wife. And I assume it could be tough even if you're not a mom and a wife. But because I'm in those seats, I'm going to speak to my mamas and my wives and people who have families, and my dads and husbands too. When you love spending time with your family and you're in a season where you need to get after it, it can be tough missing out on those giggles or on those hugs or on that park trip. And so I do think it's important for you to have some level of, this is a season where I'm going to do what it takes and it's going to pay off in the next season. And for all of my parents who are feeling really bad about working, I want to speak to you directly and say, I grew up with two parents, both of them worked. My dad worked a lot. My mom was able to stay home with us when she was a little bit younger, but my dad worked like really serious hours. He built his own 7-figure business back in the 90s, probably multiple 7 figures. I just know I grew up well. And I didn't always see him, but what I remember from my childhood, this is only to the parents who may deal with that guilt thing, and I remind myself of this all the time. Well, here's what I remember from my childhood. He never missed an event. I didn't perform anywhere that my dad and my mom were not both at. Up until college. Matter of fact, up until now, my parents have been to every single Speak Your Way to Cash event that I've done. So every year we had a family vacation. We had some time to spend with each other away from the house. I don't know what that looks like for you, but these are the things that I remember from my childhood. And so now when I'm working and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm missing this with my baby. Oh my goodness, is she going to be okay? I remind myself, I grew up with parents who worked hard to ensure that I could have the life that I live now. And quite frankly, I don't ever remember being like, they don't love me, they don't care for me, they don't this, they don't that. What I remember is for every moment that it counted, they were there. And every single time I called, they always answered. And so my framework for being a parent, what I am telling myself in those moments when it's like, dang, I can't believe I'm missing it. Did she just giggle? Oh my goodness. I'm like, You are doing what you need to do to set your family up to have the future that they deserve to have. And every moment that counts, you will be there. Every time your daughter calls, you will be there. You will always make sure she has what she needs to be in the right hands with the right people. And that is what it is. So I don't know what it is you need to tell yourself, but do not let anyone or anything make you feel bad for doing what you need to do for your family. I'm just saying, as a kid of a parent who worked, as a working parent, it's fine. Unless you're independently wealthy, parents got to work. And Christelle is bougie. She likes staying at the nice hotels and she does not eat chicken that is not thoroughly tender. So mama got to work. But what I bring that up only because I know that for some of you, I've gotten the messages, I've gotten the DMs Ashley, how do you balance it all? How is it going to work? I don't know. I have a baby. I have this, I have that. Honestly, y'all, what I do is I have certain things that I'm always going to do with my daughter, certain affirmations that we're always going to share, certain things that we're always going to connect on. I make sure that I see her every single day when she wakes up, when she goes to sleep, unless we're on vacation, let's be real. But, every day that I can, I'm doing those things. I'm giving her big hugs. And whenever my daughter comes up to me, even if I'm really, really busy, I always say my favorite girl. So if she comes up to me and I'm in the middle of a big launch, instead of just being like, Christelle, go away. You know what I mean? I'm always like, hey, my favorite baby. That's how I address her. Hey, my love. I just make sure I'm very conscious of how I speak to and about her in front of her, because I don't ever want her to feel like she's an inconvenience. So there are some things that we as parents can do to ensure that our children, because I want her to grow up confident.
It is here. The Speak Your Way to Cash book is now available for you to purchase. Go to Amazon to get your audio, Kindle, or hardcover copy of the book. And we have a paperback copy, okay? So you can get it on Audible and listen to it. And I read it myself. So if you love the podcast, you will love the audiobook. Go get it now. Speak Your Way to Cash, how to start at the top of the speaking market instead of working your way up from the bottom. A bit about the book. It's broken down into 6 parts, and it is over 260 pages of goodness, okay? Part 1 covers mindset. Part 2 covers getting yourself in the press. Part 3 covers assembling your 6-figure offer. Part 4 covers inviting people to work with you, sales. Part 5 covers delivering an outstanding speech. And Part 6 covers legalities that every speaker needs and how to build a team. I mean, literally, what did we leave out? Nothing. So go to Amazon and grab your copy today. And let me know you did it too.
I don't want her to grow up thinking that because she's a woman, she can't, or because she's Black, she can't, or because of this, she can't, or because of that, she can't. And I also don't want her to grow up saying, Mommy, I want to go to a $10,000 chess camp at Princeton. And Mommy got to be like, no, even though she's brilliant at it. And so for me, I grew up, and because of the sacrifices that my parents made every summer in high school, I went to an elite camp. I went to debate camp. I went to stock camp in Boston. I went to camp at Northwestern University, where I inevitably graduated from law school. All of those experiences changed the trajectory of my life, but somebody had to pay for that. And so I honor parents who are working hard to ensure their kids have opportunities. And I understand that that guilt creeps up even with the best of intentions, but just know if your heart is right towards your children, they are going to grow up and they're going to love the fact that you showed them what was possible. I remember when my mom went back to get her bachelor's while we were still in the house, and she went back to get her MBA. And I remember seeing my mom stay up like all night. Like, she used to work into the wee hours of the night when she was meeting a deadline. And sometimes, because she's a senior project manager, I've had to see her work those really intense schedules every now and then. And what I remember thinking as a young girl watching her do this was, oh my goodness, women can reach goals. Women can do hard things. Women can excel and help others, and they can still be soft. They can still love their husbands, but they don't have to give up their identity, their passions, and their dreams to fit inside of a box. And so I'm telling you all, because I remember being inspired by my mother. I remember being encouraged by my dad working hard. And so for all of you all out there that are literally like, I know my audience. So I know there's some of you watching this right now that are in the position where you have to shift the trajectory of your bloodline with the decisions that you make. And if that is you, then I need you to know that what you're doing is you're allowing your children to far surpass even your wildest dreams, because they won't have to go through the same things that you went through. And yes, it's going to be hard. And yes, there's going to be sacrifice. And yes, people are going to judge you. But do you know who doesn't have to judge you? You don't have to judge yourself. So when I talk about developing belief systems, y'all, I mean, I need y'all to grab hold to who you are and determine who you're going to be and develop a framework for how you're going to prioritize and make decisions, so that in the event that someone else tries to tell you who you are or make you feel bad for what you're doing, you can say, oh, no, that doesn't align with my belief systems. And having boundaries is not just an act of like you protecting yourself. It is a wealth principle. Okay. So for all y'all who want to be real wealthy, having boundaries is a wealth principle. People who are free with their time, people who have no concept of urgency, no concept of completion, no concept of boundaries and what time is really worth, those folks typically struggle in the financial realm too. If you don't put any, like literally, boundaries are a wealth principle. Saying no is an act of self-care. I'm not saying you always have to say no, but I'm saying that just because someone asks doesn't mean you have to answer, doesn't mean you have to agree, even when someone who's asking is someone that you love. And what I find is, going back to the question that was asked, what do I do? How do I build this business when my work schedule is so tough, when my insecurities are so tough, when my life is coming at me every which way? The first area that I would inspect with my clients, we're doing a $1 million mindset intensive on August 1st. And we're literally going to walk through the belief systems of our clients. We're going to walk through the actions that you need to take to achieve your goals. We're going to leave with an action plan. But the first thing that we're going to analyze is, one, what them boundaries look like. Because there's something that happens when you are more concerned with being liked than being respected. What happens is all your boundaries go away and you're typically not able to deduce what you should do from what you shouldn't do because you're so honored that any and everyone is asking you to be somewhere. Baby, let me tell you, you are the prize. One of the things that my aunt used to tell me when I was dating in college, and shout out to all y'all that are on the dating market. I've been off it for a long time, but your girl still remembers it wasn't always sweet. So power through. Love is out there. Praying for love for all those who want it. But one of the things that used to happen is a guy would ask me on a date and I ain't like him. And I ain't really want to go. And I would call my mom and I'd call my aunt. And my mom would always say, well, you're not a charity. You don't have to accept any and everyone who comes to your door. And what my aunt would always say, who's also a lawyer, she's a great role model of mine as well. She used to say, just remember, you're the prize. Like every story, I'd be like, oh, and the guy did this and he did this and he did this and he did this. She'd be like, just remember, you're the prize. Why am I telling you all this story now? Because we're talking about business and boundaries and all this other stuff. You're the prize. And the sooner you realize that you're the prize, you're going to be able to determine which rooms you go into. You're not going to be so honored by an invite that you have to readily accept every single thing that comes to your door. You're not going to be so excited to hop on any and every stage that you waive your fee without a strategic plan behind doing so. A part of the reason why I imagine people deal with, oh, I'm too busy, is because they don't exercise the power and authority that they have to say no and to say, I don't want to do that. I love you, but I'm not doing that today. I respect you, but I can't have the call right now. This sounds like a really good conversation. I need to have it later. And I want you to develop your boundaries, language, arsenal. Okay. Like you need a bucket of phrases that how you gonna say no where you feel comfortable and it's out the door. Because when you can't say no, it's very difficult to acquire the things that you desire in your life because they probably will require focus. They will require boundaries and they will require you to step up and walk fully in your power. Okay. So for those of you listening to this who want more information about the Currency of Confidence $1 Million Mindset Strategy Intensive, please do let me know. We have a few spots left. The price of that is $10,000. It's a group intimate VIP day. We capped it at, I believe, 5 people. I don't know. I got to ask my team. But we capped it. So it's an intimate group. And we're literally doing a group VIP day to develop out your make sure that your thoughts aren't hurting your future. 2, develop your boundaries and your belief systems that will serve you. And 3, your 30-day action plan. So you know exactly what to do in leaving that session to go after the goal that you want. For most of the people that are coming, their goal is to land a paid speaking contract. So we're going to develop a plan to that end because setting a goal is the easy part, but identifying the small actions that you need to take in order to profitably reach that result is really what we're focusing in on. For everyone else who's like, look, I just want to learn how to pitch. Like you started off talking about pitching a little bit and automating it and all of that stuff. My announcement for you is our prospecting party for the live event is tomorrow and you can attend live if you get your ticket by midnight tonight. For those of you that may hear this after that, this date is over, because this is actually recorded in, I think it's July 11th or 12th right now. For those of you that hear this after that date, we are doing a Pitch Your Way to Cash challenge at the end of the month. Now, we've done some of these before, but this one is really different. It is 5 days. And if you get a platinum all access pass, only with the platinum all access pass, will you get to attend the platinum Q&A, which is for 30 minutes before the challenge, where I'll be answering questions for all platinum attendees. And what's really cool is right now, I think we don't have that many platinum attendees. So everyone's going to get to ask maybe multiple questions, but get your ticket now so that you are guaranteed to ask your question. And for 5 days, I'm going to coach you on how to pitch. It's life-changing stuff. We just had a woman post that she landed a $25,000 contract that she would have ordinarily pitched for like $7,000 because she attended one of our online events. So our online events they real different over here. Last challenge, we had someone, she just spoke at the summit. She landed a $7,000 a month reoccurring contract during the challenge. So, we do a little different over here. If you're interested in anything like that, then you should go to pitchyourwaytocash.com. Only if you're serious. Like if you're someone who's like, I don't know, I'm just dabbling, like then don't come. But if you're like, no, I want to grow my business this year. I know that I have something to offer the marketplace. I'm in the business of changing lives. If you're in the business of changing lives, if you're in the business of breaking those boundaries that have been on your, maybe on your family's financial history, if you're in the business of maybe working with your family, I've been able to hire my husband full time. I've been able to literally replace the income that I made from my law firm by doing exactly what I love to do. And a lot of you have a message that could do the exact same thing. And I want that for you. I want that for you if you want that for you. So if you want that for you, go to pitchyourwaytocash.com and register for our next challenge. It's coming up at the end of July. You should definitely register. Get the VIP Platinum ticket. It's going to be a game changer for you. And shout out to all of you all who listen to the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast faithfully. I appreciate you. And shout out to all of you guys that have your event ticket. The event is in November. It's a 3-day hybrid event in November. However, we do pre-event sessions monthly, and this is our pre-event prospecting party tomorrow. It's going to be off the chain. I can't wait. I'm so excited about it. So I will see all of y'all event attendees at that event tomorrow. Really excited about chatting with you and speaking to you there. But for everyone else, thank you so much for your time and for joining us. And I'm excited to get this on the podcast. Shout out to the podcast fam. Leave us a review. We're trying to get to at least, I think, 50 reviews on the podcast this month. So go ahead and leave us a review on the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast. I will really appreciate you. And you know what else I'll do? I'll even shout you out on the podcast because we have some of you who've already left some amazing reviews. And we want to shout you all out and kind of honor y'all for sharing the good news, man. Share what we do on the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast. Like literally, this is a free platform where we're able to really help some people out. So I want to shout out to Nicole Evans. She left us a review and said, Miss Kirkwood brings it meaning the value. You will not regret 1 minute of listening to this show. We got another review by Monique. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Monique. It says, boss confidence plus effective takeaways. As a solo female entrepreneur, I'm constantly pouring into others. So I enjoy hearing other female bosses pour into me by way of sharing their entrepreneurial experience and expertise. When you need that extra dose of boss confidence, Ashley has you covered. Thank you so much by me, Monique. I appreciate you leaving a review on our podcast. So if you want me to give you a shout out after you leave your review today, we're already at 54 ratings, y'all. So we need to get to 100. I said 50. We already have 54. We have 4.9. So we need to get to 100 reviews by the end of this month. So look, if you listen to this and you liked it, I ain't charge y'all for being here. Go over to Apple Podcasts and leave Speak Your Way to Cash a review. Open the Apple Podcast app. Leave us a review. We're going to get to 100 this month. And I will for sure shout you out on the podcast. Just make sure your name is clear enough for me to actually give you a shout out because I don't know who some of these names are. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Dr. RCH. She left a review that says, if you're interested in paid speaking opportunities, Ashley is a wealth of knowledge. Her podcast guests are so informative and share industry secrets in this must listen to podcast. Really appreciate you all for being in the Speak Your Way to Cash family. It is going to be amazing to see so many of you at the event, literally. So shout out to the podcast fam. Can't wait to see you at the event. I will see you all soon. And thank you so much for listening. For everyone else, be sure to leave us a review and go to pitchyourwaytocash.com today to sign up for our next Pitch Your Way to Cash challenge. All right. Wasn't that interview amazing? If you're anything like me, you have pages full of notes. But here's the thing. Before you head out, I want you to go to facebook.com and join the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook group. That is where I am. That's where a ton of other speakers are, a ton of other people who listen to the show. We all congregate there and chat. And it's 100% free. Now, if you're ready to take your speaking career to the next level, I have 2 ways for you to do that. One, you can go to ashleynicolekirkwood.com/SYWTC live replay and pick up the live replay. That training is 7 modules, chock full of information. It's crazy. Go over there, read all about it. Or if you want a more personal experience, you already know that you want to be a speaker. You're ready to fully commit and you want someone to walk you through it and save you tons of time Googling and doing it on your own, then book a VIP day with me. You can go to ashleynicolekirkwood.com, scroll down until you see the VIP day section and get more information on that there. All right. Thank you guys again for watching. Please do not forget to leave us a review. That is how we keep this train rolling and get some of the best speakers in the world to get on this show. So please leave a review. Shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram, and Facebook in the Speak Your Way to Cash group, Instagram at the Ashley Nicole Show. And I'd be more than happy to chat with you and say hi. All right, y'all have an awesome, awesome day.